me, you can hear these Bronco fans. They have traveled the 5.5 hours from Kalamazoo.
There's a bunch of them right behind me, and while they were doing starting lineups, the glass was absolutely shaking. So you know the atmosphere is going to be big time, but you wonder right now, Butchie, having been a part of a game like this, the butterflies, the churn in your stomach, oh boy, look out.
There's nothing like college hockey. And the national championship game is underway. There's Cole Hudson, number 44. Look for Western Michigan to finish checks like that and perhaps force some icings and get offensive zone faceoffs. BU season changed when Mikhail Yegorov showed up. Goaltending was an issue early on. Preventing goals was an issue, but he has had a great season with a .934 save percentage. Owen Michaels, the double overtime hero, takes the face-off for Western Michigan. Alex Bump, Matteo Costantini, the big line out there. Here's Bump. Pass across, intercepted by Gavin McCarthy. Here comes Boston University. Shane LaChance, the captain, dumps it in. He'll be looking to make some physical contact. Ryan Green, Chicago Blackhawk prospect, number 9 in there. Kept in there by Jack Hughes with a strong game on Thursday against Penn State. Here's the Flyer draft pick, Alex Bump. Terriers throw it right back in. That's going to be icing. It was right at the red line.
No, that was the right call. It was about a foot by the goalie, or by the red line, and that's the right call by the officials.
Freshman goalie Hampton Slukinski took over as Western Michigan starter in mid-February, and he's been elite since. The Warroad, Minnesota native, has started the last 12 games now for the Brown and Gold, and the Kings draft pick is 11-1. So these are two teams who both made goalie changes after the new year, and it's led them to this night. Nice face-off win by Hampton's brother, Grant Slukinski. He centers this second line, number 13 there for Western Michigan. Here come the Terriers. Capone, he had a strong game against Penn State. Around the net, still has it. Goes to the slot. Kaplan, one more pass. Willander saves Slukinski. Tom Willander, Vancouver Canuck first-round pick, 11th overall with that wrist shot.
I think Slukinski likes feeling the puck early. Remember against Denver the other night, there were 7 shots through 2 periods. Hard to get into a game for a goalie when they don't see a lot of rubber.
Hakkarainen, Eero Hakkarainen. His teammates call him mean. He shoots, deflected, right, it's in! Tipped in front! Wyatt Shingaldi, the Maple Leafs draft pick. Right in front of Mikhail Yegorov, deflects it into the net. And the all-important first goal goes to the Broncos.
Well, you can hear the energy in the building. There's no doubt that this is a Western Michigan home crowd here in St. Louis. And, you know, for Western to be successful, this is what it looks like. It's good hard work down below the goal line. And Hakkarainen, a guy who is always on top of the puck, just looks like he flings one to the net. And when you get traffic on Yegorov like Singoldi did, he goes right to the blue paint. He gets a stick on it, and Yegorov wasn't able to track that one in. What a big goal to start this hockey game for the Broncos.
So BU on their heels early. That's offside at the line. Cole Hudson, not quite enough patience to enter the zone.
We talked a lot about Eero Hakkarainen the other night. He just seems like a guy who is always on top of the puck and always making things happen. And, you know, you get to this time of year, Butchie, everything's got to go towards the net. And both of these goaltenders have had phenomenal seasons. You got to make them uncomfortable.
Here's Rukanakis now. Nick Rukanakis, big body, takes it around the net. Stripped real nicely there by Robbie Drasner. Just the 5th goal of the year for Shingaldi. He's a 7th-round pick of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Back to the point. Here's Hudson. He's got room. Fires! Well wide. In fact, it went off his teammate, Rukanakis. Hudson will pinch along the wall. Pass in front, no one's there. BU applying some pressure after giving up the first goal of the game. Washi also gets an assist along with Hakarainen on that goal.
Yeah, Washi, 16 for the Broncos. He doesn't lose many face-offs. You get an offensive zone draw with him, you know you're going to have puck possession.
Just 98 seconds in. The 19-year-old netminder, Slukinski. Scholing, Bison in the top pair for Western is out there now. Here they come. Here's Willander. Beautiful shift right there by the defenseman. Couldn't quite connect with Green.
That was a good stick by Michaels, 34 for the Broncos.
Turnover, shot, backhander by Michaels over the net, went on edge. He had 2 the other night, including the double overtime winner. Here comes Quinn Hudson, brother of Cole. Boumedian, youngest player in college hockey, number 78 in red.
Yeah, expect to see him as a first-round draft choice in the NHL this year. Sasha Boumedian, what an impressive season for 78 in red. He's really come along and developed well.
Jack Page turns it over. Slukinski has it. Here comes Western with numbers. Sharp. Goal shot goes wide. Galente can't connect, and here come the Terriers. Nice play by Hughes to corral that puck. Jack Hughes behind the net. Slung around to the left point, will come out. B will start over. Here's Cole Hudson. MOP in Toledo, World Junior gold medal winner, and led everybody in points. First time a Blue Liners ever led that tournament in points. He's also the Beanpot MVP when BU beat Boston College in the Beanpot. Another big game, and his team needs him now, down 1-0 early.
Yeah, right now Western Michigan is playing with a lot more pace.
Washi, good stick right there by McCarthy to send that into the netting.
This well-oiled machine Broncos team, they come at you with 3 lines, but this top line with Owen Michaels with a phenomenal opportunity off of a little wall turnover, and there's Tim Washi, number 16, who's about to take a face-off for Western. This guy does everything for his team. He's a 200-foot player. Boy, is he good in the face-off dot.
Another face-off win.
Clean. He wins them clean.
Undrafted. Some NHL team will sign him in the coming week, most likely. Lemire, who won a national championship with Denver last year, number 29 now out there. He takes a cross check in the back. Play continues. ECAC officials in this national championship game. Washi and McCarthy both go down. 5 minutes into the national championship game. Again, the puck into the netting. Western Michigan playing for a national championship for the first time ever. This would be the biggest athletic moment in the history of Western Michigan. And they lead 1-0 early. Welcome back to St. Louis. The Western Michigan Broncos on top 1-0. That man scored the goal, Wyatt Shingobi. Number 1 team for much of the season. They won their conference. They won their conference championship. Pat Bergeron, the youngest of 6, grew up in Rochester, Minnesota. His dad, Lynn, 84 years old, back home watching in Rochester. Good player for the Brown and Gold. Played 116 games for Western Michigan.
Him and his line mate, Keith Jones.
Absolutely, the president of the Flyers, Keith Jones, was here on Thursday, not here tonight, back to work with the Flyers.
I think he was hoping to sneak Alex Bump out of here and get him into a Flyers uniform, but this one's going to be a hand pass in the neutral zone on Western. But you know, no shortage of talent on this Broncos team. You have to wonder if the physical play will start picking up. That's the hand pass, and there's Rukanakis, the guy we mentioned, and you know, he's 230 pounds. So a game like this, Pucci, against a big, strong Western team, you'd expect to see number 7 out on the ice a little bit more than normal.
Because of the hand pass, the faceoff comes into the Western Michigan end, and Shane LaChance will take the faceoff. Great look from our ref cam. Try again, LaChance sent out of the dot. Now here comes Ryan Green, Blackhawk prospect, number 9.
Might see him in the lineup here in the coming days for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Quinn Hudson Green has it. Green takes it, sends it across, turnover. Here comes Bump as a man. Good play by Green to break it up, but Western Michigan still controls. Bump, Kramer shot just wide. The defenseman who scored the other night against Denver.
Costantini just turned the wrong way. I think if he stops there on the back door, Western has a 2-0 lead at that point.
A chance, chips it in. Both teams with good pace out there. There's opportunities to make offensive plays. A Let's Go Bronco chant here in St. Louis. Here comes Lukinski. Nice play McCarthy along the wall. He'll chip it up. Capone, next backhanded pass. Here come the Terriers now. 5 national championships in school history. The last one 16 years ago in 2009 in Washington, D.C. Lukinski up the wall. This will be icing. Nope, not anymore. Here comes Valente. Valente! Shot! Save! Big save, Yegorov on Liam Valente. 14 goals this year. The transfer from Providence. Jack Hughes lobs it to the Western Michigan, and both teams are changing here in St. Louis. Washi back in the zone. Backhand save, Yegorov. He'll cover up with Hakkarainen on the doorstep.
Liam Valente, who's got a big-time shot, number 23, picks up that turnover in the neutral zone, just putting too much pressure on BU right now, and the Providence transfer, 23, who has just blossomed under this coaching staff here at Western Michigan, had a big-time goal, actually a couple of goals in the regionals to get them here. He's been a big part of this team, especially on the power play.
This is Washi. He's been perfect on the dot. And he gets waved out. Hakkarainen comes in, nose to nose with Bednarik. Bednarik wins it. First time since 2009, both teams start a freshman goalie in the national championship game. Terriers have some numbers if they hurry. Bednarik. Kaplan, back to Bednarik, it's loose! Shot, rebound is still underneath. It's into net! A slow whistle, eventually a point, and for now it's 1-1. Western Michigan doesn't like it. They felt that was under Slukinski.
Well, I think the key here, Butchie, is that Slukinski never stopped moving. I think when a goaltender stops and he locks it up, you're more likely to get help from the officials with a whistle, but you can see the puck hits him and it never actually gets loose. You see it still moving around, and that puck goes off of Yzerman's stick, the tip of 34's stick, right at the last second. And Brett, what do you, Dave Jackson, what do you see here?
I see just same thing you saw. I don't think that puck was ever frozen. He wasn't pushed across the goal line either. He didn't push the goaltender in with the puck. He's banging a loose puck. You're allowed some contact when the puck is loose. I don't believe the goaltender ever had it. I don't think they're going to challenge here.
Now remember, in college hockey, coaches can challenge. They do not get a minor if they're wrong. As long as they have a timeout, you just lose your timeout. So a little bit of a free challenge, if you will, but I think the right decision for Pat Ferschweiler and his staff. That looks to me like a good goal.
So Dave Jackson, former NHL referee. When you watch NHL games on ESPN the last 4 years, you've seen Dave, our NHL rules expert. He also works in college hockey, and he'll help us tonight in this national championship game. So Yzerman's going to get the goal. His 25th of the year for the first-round pick of the New York Islanders. You talk about a nose for the net. He loves to score goals, and no surprise, he jumped on that opportunity. As that puck tantalizingly came loose a couple of times. And now there's more room. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Green, Lachance, beautiful pass. Shot saves Lukinski on Quinn Hudson. And now transition hockey the other way. Bump to Michaels. Bumps into the linesman. Aiden Celebrini, brother of Macklin, on defense for Boston University, number 22. His partner, Jack Page. Strict is Hudson. Now Western Michigan going to work in a 1-1 game. Aiden Celebrini up the wall, but it's going to go right to Kreuzberg-Rosine. He'll send it back. This is the 5-6 pair for BU. On defense, Page and Celebrini. Quinn Hudson. Nice play by Bump, but LaChance has the back of Hudson to get it out.
Quinn Hudson's going to get a penalty here. He's going to get a hooking call, which is the right call. He turns the puck over around the blue line. He's not moving his feet. And then he gets his stick in on the hands. I'm pretty sure it was Quinn Hudson. We're going to get to see this Western power play here coming up shortly.
Delayed penalty, 6-on-5, Western Michigan. Here comes Valente. He'll stop. Try to go back to the point. Hit a leg. Comes to Neri. Western Michigan still possesses. Kreuzberg-Rosine just keeps it in. Towards the net. Goes behind the net. Delayed penalty. Power play coming up unless Western Michigan scores. Hakkarainen in front. Taken there, though, by Capone. And the power play will commence for the Broncos. It's going to be Quinn Hudson heading to the box. Here's the call on the penalty.
Boston University, penalty number 17, 2 minutes, hooking.
Yeah, that's an easy call for the officials to make. You turn a puck over right up around the top of the blue line, and then you get your stick right in on the hands. Maybe Quinn Hudson would have liked the slash potentially, but I think the officials 100% got that right.
There's Dave Pandolfo. Went to 4 straight Frozen Fours as a player, now 3 straight as a coach, trying to win his school's 6th national championship. He won one as a player in 1995. That Frozen Four in Providence, Rhode Island. So power play Western Michigan in a 1-1 game.
Boston U penalty number 17.
Hughes clears to begin the power play. Slukinski will leave for Sam Scholin, the 23-year-old Swede. Drops it back to Bump. Alex Bump, 23 goals on the year. Flyers prospect number 20. He has it back. Hudson on him. Chopping away. Valente. Back to Michaels. Back to Valente. Powerful power play. Valente dangles. Shot. It's loose. Comes back to Bump. Alex Bump down low. 1, 2, 3. Save! Yegorov, that was beautiful hockey from Western Michigan. 3 quick passes in a row and almost a doorstep goal.
Yeah, really impressive puck movement. And you watch the puck. Once it leaves Bump's stick, who has it right now, Owen Michaels doesn't handle it. When it goes down to 34 on the goal line, it's one touch out into the middle before it crosses the crease. And this is Liam Valente with a phenomenal opportunity to the net. Nicole Hudson just gets that last-ditch stick on that last puck, but the BU penalty kill under siege right now.
Washi gets bumped out, looks like. Yep, that's, of course,
yeah.
He's been so good in the dot.
Hasn't lost one in the offensive zone yet in the last couple of games, 16 in white, so Slukinski will come in and take this draw for him, which
he will, and good job by Bednarik there to win that faceoff, but gloved down by Väisänen. Boumedian could not clear that, but then good play by Bednarik again at the blue line to get it out. Boumedian quickly turns and throws it down the ice. Again, the youngest player in college hockey, number 78 in red, Sasha Boumedian. Still time for Western Michigan. 50 seconds left on the power play. Plenty of room for Kaplan to send it down, and he does.
Yeah, smart play there by Kaplan to peel that off the yellow and spin that puck up the middle. So many times guys will just try to keep that thing going around the wall. So a heads-up play there by the veteran Devin Kaplan.
BU has a good PK. No surprise, their coach Dave Pandolfo was good at that. Number 3 in the country.
Well, Joe Pereira, actually, associate head coach, he handles the penalty kill, and I know they made a couple of tweaks around halfway through the year, the way they were going to pressure out high and then back to the wall, and it's definitely paid dividends for them down the stretch.
10 seconds left on the Western Michigan power play. Here they come. Kreuzberg-Rosine fires, blocked. Puck is loose, and Yegorov, he had 2 teammates kind of smarting on the ice. So that's a good cover by him. One of them was Cole Hudson, who took that wrist shot off his leg.
Yeah, he's hobbling off the ice right now, Cole Hudson. As you see our quick look at our ref cam, Hudson had a couple of tough ones off the foot the other night against Penn State.
It's been a historic season for Western Michigan. Program best 33 wins. Again, regular season champs, their first of any kind. NCAA tournament championship as well. 16 new players, 6 transfers, 10 freshmen. Pat Ferschweiler has done a great job, and a great job by Washington to win that faceoff with his skate. Shot tipped, just wide. Sharp with the pass, Hakkarainen with the tip attempt. Scrum along the wall. Western Michigan fires, just deflected wide. 8:10 to go in the first. 1-1 for the national championship. The chance, tries to protect, but Knuble strips it. Fourth line for Western on. BU gets it back and chips it out of the zone.
Yeah, Pat Ferschweiler told us before the game he's not looking for any line matchups, right? He does not care as this puck goes down for icing, but whether it's the third line, the fourth line against the top line, he has so much belief in the depth of his 4 forward lines that he's going to continue to roll them out. He's going to continue to get everybody minutes, and obviously TV timeouts and such will change that a little bit, but it just shows you the depth of Western Michigan.
Cole Hudson, remember, took that wrist shot off the leg, still bending over a little bit. Face off to the left of Hampton's Lukinski, won by BU. There's Yzerman, knocked down. Play continues. Yzerman back on his feet. Scholey uses the wall. Hudson steps up, banged into Sidlowski, who lost his stick and a mitten. So he'll go right to the bench. Now Cole Hudson has it. Hudson across the line, just onside, still has it. Attacking, shot! Loose in front after the Lukinski save. Good job by Yzerman to crash the net. Hudson can't knock it down, but McCarthy's there. Jack Harvey with the puck. Harvey, nice swooping move to get momentum and head north. And here he comes onside. Lost his stick. Delivers ahead. Capone knocks the man down, through in front, hoping, but it comes right to Zach Neary.
Yeah, those types of hope plays are trouble against Western Michigan. You don't want to feed their transition. They want to play north.
Dominion looking up for help. Now he'll pause and wait for his team to make a couple of changes and begin their breakout. Long pass over to Kaplan. Wasn't looking at first, but then he found it. And then a nice chip-in play by Svoboda. A powerful move to the net from number 8. He'll cycle it around towards Rukanakis, who's going to take this to the net hard. Around the net. Reversing, back behind the net. Another quick move. Now he lost his stick. He'll just kick it and wait for help. Boumedian can't get there in time. Yes, he held the blue line. Svoboda to the middle. Deflected wide. Rukanakis. A good shift by this heavy line, but the defensemen are changing. Watch out. No one touched it, so no too many men on the ice situation. And BU heads back up the other way with Cole Hudson. Dangerous, elusive, dynamic shot! Saved by Slukinski. The national championship game is all square at 1. Shingovi for Western Michigan. And Cole Yzerman for the Boston University Terriers. And we are 1-1. There are 64 Division I men's ice hockey teams in the nation. Only 2 remain. Boston University, Western Michigan winning on Thursday in the semifinal matchups, and here they are playing for the national championship. They have traveled well from Kalamazoo, Michigan, and have decided home ice advantage in terms of crowd noise.
Well, I think this might have been offsides, Butchie, not to cut you off. It looks like the puck's going to come out of the zone anyway. The officials actually looked at each other, kind of a little confused, as this one will be offsides. During that last TV timeout. So you could see the puck just sitting right on his pad. Great job by our ESPN crew to pick that up, and just an unfortunate bounce by Hampton Slukinski for that thing to just roll right off the top of the pants.
Good job by referee C.J. Hannafin. He was right there. He was swinging around the net. You saw the puck bounce out a couple times, as Colby mentioned. That black puck on those brown pants makes it tough to see, but he was right there. And that allowed Yzerman to hunt that puck down and tap it in for the big goal for BU. And not want to fall down 2-0.
Yeah, so far, the officials doing a good job continuing to communicate with the players. During the last TV timeout, the captain for Western, Tim Washy, he jumped over to talk to the lines, and he wanted to know why he's been kicked out of 2 face-offs already. So after a little dialogue, we'll see if they came to some sort of understanding.
All right. Cole Hudson takes the hit. Constantine will finish on 44 all night long. Quinn Hudson. Here come the Terriers. Ryan Green, excellent skater, number 9. Quinn Hudson is their scorer on this line, but he loses control. 3-on-2 the other way. Here comes Western Michigan. Bump! Fires just wide. Rosine scores! Cole Krusberg-Rosine with his 3rd of the year. And the Broncos are back on top 2-1.
Well, Butchie, so much of this game was made of the contrasting styles between Western and BU, and you know, this all goes back to a turnover by the Boston University forward group, which leads to a clear-cut 3-on-2, and you just cannot continue to give the Western Michigan Broncos these looks towards the net. What they do so well is not only do they have the opportunity on the initial rush, but they recover pucks so well. Krusberg-Rosine dives in off the point, number 3 for the Broncos, and we've got a 2-1 hockey game.
So a couple unlikely goal scorers for Western Michigan. And they lead 2-1. There's Hakkarainen now. Under 5 to go in the opening period. Unassisted goal for now. Once again, the Terriers down by a goal to Western Michigan.
How about the play Bump makes on that 3-on-2, just to toe that puck in to get it around the defenseman's stick. I mean, it is a small, subtle play, but keeps that whole 3-on-2 alive for Western Michigan.
Harvey comes out with it. Beautiful little move through Valente, and he's able to dump it in and change. 4 minutes left in the opening period. Western Michigan, the last of 7 Michigan hockey programs to make the national championship game. Puck bouncing in front. Yugorov's able to stick that big mitt out, catch it, and freeze it.
Well, tempers starting to flare. The teams are settling in. Couple of goals early. Krusberg-Rosine late, and it is 2-1 for Western Michigan.
Back here in St. Louis, our Quint Kesnick is with Jay Pandolfo on the BU bench.
Coach, tactically, what is most critical right now?
Yeah, we're just managing the puck. Overall, I like the pace of our game. You know, I mean, we obviously gave up a couple chances and it ended up in our net, but I like the way we're playing. This is real hockey. This is a good hockey game right now. The pace is good. You know, we'll get it back.
Thank you.
Yeah, I tend to agree, Butchie, with Jay Pandolfo's assessment of puck management. I mean, that last goal comes off a turnover between the Ryan Green, Quinn Hudson, and Shane LeChance line. They've got a 3-on-2 play towards the net, and you turn a puck over, Western starts coming right back the other way. Those are the types of chances that BU tends to give up.
Face off to the right of Yugorov. Won by Ryan Green cleanly. McCarthy goes to Cole Hudson. He'll start behind his own net, 200 feet away from the Western Michigan net. He'll give it to McCarthy now. Goes up to Kaplan. There's room across the ice to Yzerman, but a poor pass from Kaplan. And BU has to retreat, but now they get it in deep. Bisonen around. Kept in by the Terriers. McCarthy shifts it to the corner. Bednard Kaplan follows him. He finishes on Scholin. Another hard hit there by Eiserman, but here comes Knuble. His father Mike played in the NHL. Cam Knuble, number 19. McCarthy stripped by Owen Michaels. He's got a man in the slot, can't find him. Krusberg-Rosine, who just scored, throws it again to the net. McCarthy knocks the man down, bump next to the net. Play continues. McCarthy up the wall, but stolen. Here's Bump. Tristan Amonte, son of Tony Amonte out there now. Eiserman lost his stick, and here comes Costantini. Costantini and Bump. Shot just wide. Nearing keeps it in.
Yeah, Eiserman made a smart play there, but his stick was actually broken.
BU trying to survive this period. The momentum has shifted decidedly, really for the first time this game, to Western. Costantini battles. Amonte trying to get it out of the zone. He does. He'll change quickly. That gives a chance for Sharp to enter the zone. Zach Sharp, the defenseman behind the net. Neri trying to sling it to Valente. He makes a hesitation move. He falls down, gets back up, and gets the puck. Back behind the net, Flukinski. Western Michigan continues their pressure. Neri through it in front, and the shot from Valente. Another quick shot. It's underneath Yegorov. He doesn't know where it is. He gets the whistle. It was under his left pad. Obviously, the BU Terriers has been their tradition for a long time. They get the high draft picks, the first rounders, the second rounders. And Jay Pandolfo, it's usually a very talented team, Colby, but sometimes a young team.
Yeah, you see a lot of young guys, and Sasha Boumedian not on that list because he hasn't been drafted. He'll be a first-round pick this season. And look, it's difficult against a team like Western, who's got a bunch of guys who are a little bit older, have been through a little bit more heavy hockey throughout the season, and right now it's a little bit of skill versus will type of game out there.
Yeah, only one teenager for Western Michigan, 19-year-old Ty Hendricks. BU has 6. So a little older, a little heavier are the Broncos.
Obviously, Mikhail Yegorov was playing junior hockey until Christmas this year.
That's right. He was supposed to arrive next year for BU, the netminder.
And in the USHL, both these goaltenders played in the United States Hockey League, which has really become the premier development path for the NCAA. I think over 40 players between these two rosters come out of the United States Hockey League.
Yegorov trying to hamper the vision of the Western Michigan forechecker. High off the glass. McCarthy, good play by Washi. BU's got to manage that puck, as Dave Pandolfo said. You can't afford to turn it over anywhere on this ice. Western Michigan turns it right into offense.
Yeah, I think a little too casual by Gavin McCarthy a couple of times on that shift. Just got to be a little more ready for forechecking pressure, which Western does so well.
1 minute to go in the first period. Quick shot wide from Swoboda. Boumedian waits, goes right back towards Swoboda. Out there with Rukanakis. Big number 7. Swoboda's moving well tonight. Quick shot just wide. Bounces back. Active end boards. Taken there by Krusberg-Rosine, the goal scorer, who made it 2-1. Bump. Protects. Gets it back. Tries to dangle, but Kaplan, good read to break up that play. BU's got 20 seconds left for one more scoring chance. Chipped in deep. They'll have to do it off the forecheck. Here comes Cole Hudson. Up and going to give it to Neri. Neri towards the net. Bouncing. Valente turning. That's going to do it in the first. Hudson always aware of how much time is left through the wrist shot, just in case. After 20 minutes of the national championship game, it's 2-1, Western Michigan. The Capital One intermission report is coming up next. The national championship game from St. Louis. Welcome back to the 2025 NCAA Men's Frozen Four Championship presented by Capital One. After 20 minutes, the Western Michigan Broncos lead the BU Terriers 2-1. And Western's got to be feeling good, Colby Cohen. Obviously the lead after 20, but they really carried the play in that first period. They had more chances. Their physical play caused turnovers. And when you turn the puck over against Western Michigan, there's going to be a chance at the other end.
Yeah, Jay Pandolfo talked to Quint about puck management at the TV timeout. And look, that's been the Achilles heel of BU all year. Just being stubborn with the puck and turning a puck over. And it starts with Ryan Green turns a puck over, Quinn Hudson turns a puck over, and then it's a free 3-on-2 up the ice. But BU, while they'll get back into the play here, it's just undisciplined hockey. You got puck watching out of Shane LaChance. Everybody's collapsed. Nobody's looking who's the more dangerous guy. And then Kruzberg-Rosine just pops down the slot and lets one go. Here's what I will say, Bushy. If BU does not manage the puck well at the blue lines and the red lines at this period, this will get quickly out of hand in Western Michigan's favor.
Cole Eiserman, the lone BU goal. And again, up 2-1 after 20. And that man right there, Alex Bump, he's yet to record a point in this entire NCAA tournament. And he's never gone 4 straight games without a point in his college career.
Wow.
So expect 20. They're doing this without anything from 20. He gets going, like you said, Colby, then turnovers could turn into Western Michigan goals. A long change, as the boys back in the studio talked about. That's also key, as Western Michigan getting in on BU. Offensive zone time, tire out the defense, and maybe get some more chances. Meanwhile, the Terriers did have moments where they had space to make plays. Just got to be a little more crisp offensively. Here comes Bump. Constantini across! Great stick play by Cole Hudson. That would have been a tap-in for Owen Michaels. McCarthy sends it across. Beautiful pass. LaChance has a man, but he could not connect with Green, who was wide open. Those are the plays you have to make. Neary chips it deep. There's Lukinski. Harvey supports the young defenseman. As Lukinski comes out with it. Bouncing puck will come to Hughes. Here comes Jack Hughes. His dad's the GM of the Montreal Canadiens. Lukinski picks it up. Played in Northern Michigan last year. The portal certainly has helped the Broncos. Harvey runs it down, goes up towards Hughes, off the body, into the zone. Hughes, beautiful anticipation. He throws in front at the top of the net. Hard hit by Cole Eiserman. Washi falls down, Capone falls down as well.
Yeah, Capone never got him there. I heard the Western bench calling for a trip, but it was the right no call by the officials.
BU really needs a power play. They have a great one. That certainly would help their offensive chances.
Yeah, you could see Western getting right back on top of things to start this second period. What a heads-up defensive play by Cole Hudson, and you can see the difference in the numbers from Thursday night to tonight from Mikhail Yegorov. 2 against tonight, only 1 against Penn State, but you've seen a lot more pressure and a lot more traffic. Obviously, there was a mandate from Pat Ferschweiler and his team. They got to make Yegorov uncomfortable. He's a young guy, but he's about 6'5", and generally he's going to stop what he can see. So how do you beat a guy like that? Well, you take his eyes away.
Second-round pick of the Devils is Yegorov, but now his team goes the other way. John Butcherglass, Colby Cohen, and Quinn Pesnick with you here tonight from St. Louis, Missouri, the Frozen Four in Las Vegas next year. Here comes Drasman. He throws it around the net. Hakkarainen the forecheck. Hakkarainen changes as the puck goes towards him. Slap shot towards the net. Yegorov made the save. He was ready. As Knuble cycles down. To Sidlowski. Henrik's also out there. Here come the Terriers and Kaplan. Former Terrier Keith Kachuk had the ceremonial first puck drop for this game. Still lives in the St. Louis area, works for the Blues as an amateur scout. Played for the Terriers for about 2 weeks, but a little more than that.
Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah,
Come on,
6 months. And then moved on to a great, what should be a Hall of Fame career eventually. The most career goals for an NHL player who's not in the Hall of Fame, Keith Kachuk.
Crazy to me. Of course, Brady Kachuk, his son, also a Terrier.
And
We'll take.
Matthew went the junior hockey route. High in the air, bouncing in front, it's offside at the line. Quinn Kesnick is with us ringside tonight.
A nuance that's got Kim Brandvold's attention, the assistant coach for BU. Face-offs. Tim Washy of the Broncos is one of the best in the country. He told me that face-off assignments, that is off the draw, are absolutely critical in this game because the Broncos can get quick offense going with a Washy win. Tell you one thing, Bucci, this place is just loaded with Bronco fans. What is it, 70% in the brown and gold?
Sounds about right to me. The Lawson Lunatics in full effect. Got a new rink coming their way in 2026 or 2027. Over $500 million and counting for a beautiful state-of-the-art arena. Bump, shot, save Yegorov. We mentioned Bump trying to get off the schneid. And Thursday night we saw the strength of Tim Washy on the Ducks.
Yeah, he really doesn't lose many. And for him to win a draw on the left side, threw his legs out to the middle. And you can just see his ability to get that leverage. I saw Paul Stasny before the game sitting a couple of rows behind me. I'll tell you what, he was phenomenal on draws too. And he picked out to me that how well Tim Washy gets low and gets that leverage when he goes in to take a draw.
16 of 22 versus Denver. Slukinski will take this draw.
Yeah, they keep kicking guys out.
He won that faceoff, hit his own boot. Now here come the Terriers. Need some offense. Green taken out nicely by Kramer. Big hard hit there by LaChance. Here's Tom Willander. Willander chips, he'll start the chase, then turn away and go change. Boosberg, Rosine, and Shingothi, the goals for Western Michigan. Cole Eiserman scored for Boston University, his 25th of the year, and this is freshman season. Here comes Hughes. Nice pass to Capone. Capone has LaChance. LaChance, shot, wrist shot. Easy save for the young goaltender Slukinski. Valente takes a real nice pass from Washy in the zone. Lemire, national champion with Denver last year. Reverses. Hudson's out there with McCarthy. Hudson falls down but chops it from his knees to the other corner. McCarthy, nice hard hit there on Hakkarainen. And Harvey has it, slings it over towards Capone. Hakkarainen turns it right back north. This is what Western Michigan does.
No.
It was close. He kind of dragged that back skate. Called safe for now.
Keep an eye on that.
Yep, now the exit, so that's moot, and we'll go ahead the other way. Hudson dangling nicely through traffic. BU is not getting the puck long enough to even draw a penalty at this point in the second period. That's chipped into the crowd. Second period, early stages of the national championship game. Tensions are running high. It's 2-1 Western Michigan. Who will strike next? Back in St. Louis, Broncos feeling good. Their coach, Pat Ferschweiler, with Quinn Kesnick.
Coach, what do you think the single key development in this game is?
Well, so far I've liked their pressure on their D-core to try to create some turnovers. I think we do a little more spread in the zone in the offensive zone to get more chances that way and put possession. But overall, I like our skating.
Thank you.
Yeah, Quinn, his team has really managed the puck well. They put it in behind the BU defense, and a lot of offense they've created off of just getting bodies below the goal line.
Open man, Hendricks in front, save, rebound, score! It is Hendricks off the rebound from Knuble, and it's 3-1 Broncos.
Getting an opportunity to see how Western Michigan can just play downhill, and everything is quick up for the team in white, and you just see how they outnumber pucks along the walls, and they're not afraid to drop their shoulder, take pucks to the net, give Cam Knuble a ton of credit. Not a lot of flash in that play, meat and potatoes, and then big number 17, Ty Hendricks, the Rangers draft choice. Instead of peeling off to the side of the net, he stays over his feet, he stays on top of the crease, and he bangs home the rebound and Western Michigan with a commanding 3-1 lead.
He's their lone teenager among their forward group from Mission Viejo, California. Son of Scott and Michelle. And he scored a goal in the Frozen Four. And his team is up 3-1, and BU better get the next one.
It just shows you how important face-offs can be. Western wins that face-off, and what is it, 7 seconds later, the puck's in the back of their net because they do not play east-west. You'll see a lot of east-west out of BU, but with Western, it's north, and it's more north.
Kanakis along the wall. Western Michigan had never won a tournament game before Pat Ferschweiler arrived. In the history of the school, 0-7. He's 4-3 in his tenure.
There's a great angle, and you could just see how quick BU commits 2 players off the face-off. Hudson jumps, and then all of a sudden, you've got more white sweaters with body position to the offensive net. And I just love the play Cam Knuble makes. Kind of reminds me of his dad, Mike Knuble, who was such an honest hockey player. I mean, I remember Knuble playing for the Flyers, and he scored so many goals right around the net. He was never a perimeter player, and his son Cam seems to have that DNA within his game as well.
Absolutely, Mike and Megan Knuble watching their son perform on the big stage. Slukinski looks over his shoulder. Beautiful move behind his skates. Goes to Nearing. But his pass intercepted nicely by Quinn Hudson. Hudson dangles around Valente. Here comes BU. LaChance. Easy blocker save by Slukinski, who tracked that puck with ease. He has such a cool, calm demeanor in net. That's an elite goalie prospect, number 30 for the Broncos, the LA Kings draft pick. Looked offside. Now it's called onside. Shot save, Yegorov. And he holds on.
It's just been too many one-and-dones for BU, whether it was that last LaChance shot on the rush or later in that shift, Ryan Green, who's one of the most reliable Terriers, turns the puck over along the wall. He's 1-on-3, and all of a sudden, Western's down the ice, and Tim Washy is going to go in to take a face-off here, and we know what he's able to do on these draws.
Uses his skate to win that draw. The strength of his, overpowering his opponent. Shot from the point. Blocking. Hudson backhands it out. Sholin high off the glass. Cole Hudson once again trying to figure out this overwhelming Western Michigan squad. They've been good all year long. Hakkarainen working on Hudson. Washy to the end boards. He has it. Good play by McCarthy. Turnover! Washy trying to make the extra pass. Hudson tries to turn some off, but he falls down. He'll stay there and change. Good anticipation, Lemire, to read that play on the boards. Western Michigan playing for a national championship for the first time ever. And they look very comfortable. Krasner, he'll go up the glass. As Colby mentioned, just no offensive zone pressure from the Terriers. Hendricks bumped from behind, no arms in the air. The arm is for offside.
This game starting to loosen up a little bit, and Western almost gets another goal. Look at the turnover by Kapani for BU. You get into playoff situations like this, one-and-dones, and you gotta make stronger plays around your net. I mean, there is just no reason for a guy like Kapani, who's an upperclassman on this team, to transfer from Merrimack, to make a soft play like that. And granted, he's had a phenomenal tournament. Right now, the officials not letting Jay Pandolfo have the change that he was looking for. So the green line will stay out on the ice.
Crowd cheering. Jumbotron video of a Western Michigan fan drinking a beer out of his shoe. Hashtag college hockey. The Terriers and Broncos. Now we're going to drink one out of a hat. It doesn't really matter, so we got a shoe and a hat. How's your bingo card, Arda? Pass in front, puck deflecting high. Stolen by Bump. Dangle shot aside of the net. Still looking for his first tournament point. Reverses. Comes to Quinn Hudson. Here's LeChance. He'll chip it in deep. Go to work. Has it. Looking for help. Quinn Hudson. He'll skate behind the net. Trying to find some space. Boumediene, hard shot. Nice blocker save. Lukinski. Tracks the puck. That's his main goal. Boumediene, hard shot. Off the post! LeChance redirected that about hip height, and it went off the post. Inches away from making it a one-goal game. But pulled down, no arms in the air. Play continues. LeChance had a couple of Terriers, but he'll just give it back to Western Michigan as Green changes. Midway through the hockey game, we approach. Western Michigan in white, BU in reds. Svoboda with speed, trying to turn the corner. Good stick by Nearing, the forward who was back playing defense there.
Yeah, Svoboda didn't see Cole Hudson, who was cruising down the left side, looking for that backdoor play. Look at Hudson just hanging out, and he's going to change now.
Washy, extra pass. Kramer knocks it down, shot. Off of Kaplan's skate, puck bouncing behind the net. Svoboda gets it out of trouble. Washy and Kaplan collide. Kramer. Krusberg, Rosine, lines it up. That time, Yegorov was able to track it. Pass across by Kramer was towards Washy. Another shot by Valente is blocked. And here come the Terriers. Rukanakis will try to take it to the net. He does! Penalty coming up! Save, shot wide. BU's going to get their first power play of the game. Rukanakis, the powerful forward, was held up and held and drew the penalty with a strong move.
Yeah, we talked about the 230-pounder for BU, Rukanakis.
Western Michigan, number 14, minor penalty for holding.
Doing a great job of just lowering his shoulder, getting to the net.
Right there. Easy call. So now the Terriers get their chance. Their power play, fourth in the nation at 28%. That's the hold call. The power play is next. Love those Western Michigan uniforms, so clean. And here's the chance for LeChance.
Yeah, there was a big shot by Boumediene, and big Shane LeChance is about 6'5" on feet. Recently traded to the New Jersey Devils. Remember the rule in college, it's a high stick is just below the shoulders, right? Crossbar not in play here, below the player's shoulders. So had that gone in, that's a good goal.
Big moment for the Terriers. Almost must score on their power plays tonight to have a chance.
Look for the movement up top between Hudson and Hudson. And Eiserman will roam around from the bumper to the back door.
Shot. Rebound is loose. Poked into goal. Shane LeChance. Another greasy, grimy puck sitting near Lukinski in the crease. Goal for the Terriers. And the power play goal makes it a one-goal game.
We have talked about the importance of face-offs in this game, and this starts on a clean win by Shane LeChance, and you know, BU just simplifies, right? Ryan Green sees Shane LeChance on top of the goalie. We talked about how big he is. The puck gets in there, and Shane LeChance takes a couple of pokes at it, and this one looks like Pat Ferschweiler might use his challenge, and
he's going to kind of accuse LeChance of kind of driving Lukinski into the net, but I think it's the first swipe that's the goal. Dave Jackson, our NHL and college hockey rules expert. There's the poke and the push a little bit.
Michigan is challenging for goaltender interference.
So Dave, what's the general rule there, and what do you think about the force of that poke, as the puck's already in before that second poke?
Exactly. First off, you can't push the goaltender with the puck across the goal line. That's not what happened there. The puck is there. It appears to be loose. It goes in very easily.
Right.
He puts the stick between the pads and the puck goes in. That tells me it was loose. But I'm hoping they have a different or a better camera angle, maybe from in the net, and we can see the puck if it's loose. But it seems to be dislodged very easily in that case.
Yeah, that initial backhand swipe from LaChance, that should be the goal.
Right.
And that second poke doesn't really matter
Right.
in the end.
And LaChance isn't in the crease.
Right.
He's not keeping him from playing his position. Here's another look at the shot by Green.
There's the sweep, and you see the puck really all in one motion appear and go right in.
Oh, I think this one's going to count.
Yeah.
I think this one, and remember, they called good goal on the ice, so it's got to be conclusive for them to overturn it. And I do think this one's going to count.
Anything else, Dave, after seeing those multiple reviews?
Well, I'm just saying any contact with the goal, that's permissible contact. Contact is permitted if you're battling for a loose puck. So him being in the crease and battling there for seeing the puck, that is legal contact. So it's only a matter of whether they determine it was covered or not.
Yeah. And Jax, let me ask you this question. If the puck's already on its way in and LaChance takes that last swipe, is that something that they could look at and say, oh, this could be goalie interference? Or because the puck is already rolling its way in, it's going to be a good goal? Because again, like I said, that's the best angle of it right there. I don't know how they don't call this a goal.
Well, now they're looking at the overhead.
If the puck is already on its way and the second swipe doesn't make contact with it, then it doesn't have any bearing on the puck. So, I mean, I think this will be a good goal. I don't think it was covered, but then again, I'm not seeing all the angles that they'll probably have in the replay booth. But again, as opposed to the NHL, this is not determined in the situation room. This is the on-ice officials making this call after watching the video.
And I think Western has a claim that it likely should have been whistled dead because it was underneath him. There's no way you see that puck. And then LaChance, big, strong boy, just kind of swapped his pads.
Here.
The fact they took out this long, you know, they're thinking about it. So let's see in the end. Is this a
Remember, it was a
goal
good
or
goal
not?
on the ice.
After video review, the call on the ice is confirmed. We have a good goal.
Okay. So again,
Western Michigan loses their
Pat
timeout.
Ferschweiler, the Western Michigan coach, wants a discussion again. So the Broncos lose their timeout. There's no penalty, but if Ferschweiler challenges again and loses, then it would be a minor penalty.
Yeah, that's where the chess match comes into play is, you know, how much do you value that timeout? How much do you value the opportunity to challenge something later in a game? And Shane LaChance going to get his first goal of the Frozen Four. You saw the graphic.
Yeah. Explain that graphic, Cole.
Well, he's a third-generation Terrier. That's Jack Parker's grandson. That's Scott LaChance, former Terrier and NHL defenseman's son. And, you know, going back to when Shane was a little 4 or 5-year-old kid, him and his brothers running around the locker room. You go back to 09, Shane is in the front row of the national championship picture with his brother Ryan.
There's Jack Parker. Again, Scott LaChance, he recruited him to play at BU, ended up marrying his daughter.
Yeah, I said his brother Ryan, I meant his brother Jake. I'll get in trouble for that.
So BU gets the big power play goal. See if this changes any kind of momentum. It was 5-on-5. Western Michigan has been in control. Willander, beautiful skating to get to that puck. Here comes Hughes as it comes out to Slukinski. Makes a nice play to Duisburg-Rosine. So BU's power play remains red hot in the NCAA tournament. Three to 2. Nice play by Hakkarainen to chip that puck over Bednarik's stick. And then he'll get it deep, but he'll hit the bench. So again, both these goals for the Terriers, Colby, going that hard.
Yeah, well, you got to. Hampton Slukinski is one of the best goaltenders in the NCAA. There's a reason he was on the World Junior team, but BU doing a nice job of bearing down around the goaltender, bearing down around the net. Shane LaChance bails the Terriers out and gets this game back into within one, and you have to wonder, can they take some momentum? Because you said it, Butchie, 5-on-5, I mean, it has been all Western Michigan.
See if they can regain that momentum. Now in a one-goal game. Quick shot taken there by Bednarik nicely. Here's Yzerman. He got the first BU goal. Nice play there by Knuble. Gorov paused for a second, but then that long reach enabled him to get the puck out of danger. Western Michigan is the third different Michigan school BU has played in a national championship game. They lost to Northern Michigan in 1991, lost to Lake Superior State in 1994. Offside at the line for the Broncos. Thursday night in the semifinal game, Hampton-Slukinski again, and maybe this will be a part of his game that he'll focus on freezing pucks with force and strength. They're all very similar, Colby.
Yeah, it seems like maybe a little bit of a problem tracking pucks in. I think a lot of times when a goaltender doesn't see it clean into them is when you start to see pucks start to roll. I mean, maybe we leave that one for our guy Andrew Raycroft to dissect in between the second and the third period.
Yeah, that will be cool to hear Andrew, the former NHL Rookie of the Year. You know, are there drills? What do you focus on when you try to cover it up? Capone shot blocked. Goes towards Green. Here comes Boston University. Willander blocked in front. Green, Swoboda able to knock it in, and here's Willander. This will be icing on Western Michigan.
Pat Ferschweiler not happy with that icing call. A little more animated than we're used to seeing him. And there's Grant and Hampton-Slukinski's dad.
That's Tim. Mom Jenny, of course, father of Hampton, the goaltender, and Grant, number 13.
I would not want to be a goalie parent, Butchie.
Oh, my God. I've never had one. They must be brutal.
That's got to be tough.
We'll text our AJ Malesko. She has a goaltending son. So how did the Slukinskis end up here? Well, they're at Northern Michigan, of course, playing for Grant Petoni, but he leaves over the summer. And so Grant transfers to Western Michigan. Hampton commits to Western Michigan. The 2 Fargo regional games, Hampton on the right, .964 save percentage. I mean, look at those numbers. And then Grant gets the game-winning overtime goal against Minnesota State in the regional semifinal in Fargo. The Slukinski brothers saving the day and help propelling Western Michigan here to the Frozen Four.
Hampton-Slukinski, a USA Hockey product of some great work by David Lasson, the goalie guru for USA Hockey, and just so many young, impressive American netminders.
Green, Hudson, the chance back out there, under 7 to go in the second. 3-2 Western Michigan. It's the 5th time these two schools have met. BU has won all 4 of the previous meetings. With speed, Hudson in front. Now we'll have to skate back to get back on defense. Knocks down Kramer, but here comes Valente. Slukinski to the net, Valente! Hard wrist shot saved by Yegorov.
3-on-2.
If they hurry, Capone dangles, Capone, and loses control lane, throws in front, but Hudson turns his back to change. Washi, Hakarainen, to the net, bouncing dangerously. Western Michigan fans want a penalty, 1 power play each in this national championship game.
I think that's all you can ask for, right?
Absolutely.
Let the guys play 5-on-5, all the blatant ones.
Slukinski, nice play to go up to Hakarainen as BU was changing.
Yeah, Page is stuck out there. He tried to change 19 in red.
First time in 16 years, 2 freshmen going head-to-head in the title game. Last time was 09 here in Milan. Sholin, hesitation, tries to get around Kaplan, still has it. Back to the point, Bison in attacking, shakes, fakes, pass, shot! High and wide.
There was daylight there.
Knuble ripped that high and wide.
And Eiserman got overplayed the middle there and kind of lost his point.
Henriksen, Knuble's open! Knocked out, watch out, Kramer fakes, fires, save, Yegorov! 2 great chances for the Broncos. Good stick by Eiserman, back the other way comes BU. Nice pass. Over to Bednar, now comes to Kaplan. He has it, but he needs help. BU was changing. Good stick there by Swoboda, stripping Henriks. Oh, yeah. Flashing Western Michigan. BU's going to get their 2nd power play of the game. Out of the net goes Yegorov, extra attacker on. See if Hudson just gives this up here to start fresh. No, they'll attack now. Harvey Hudson will conserve energy coming up slowly. That's way offside. Oh, it's onside, it's called. There's the whistle. And the power play commencing. Both teams hitting the post here on each end of the ice here in the second period. Pat Ferschweiler really upset.
Western Michigan, number 17, minor penalty for slashing.
Yeah, what a change of events here in St. Louis. Western Michigan comes within inches of a goal. Knuble, that one just, oh, goaltender's best friend gets some help from the iron, and then BU able to carry some play. When we come back, we'll see a BU power play, 3-2 Western.
Welcome back to the national championship game. Boston University, Western Michigan, and our dear friend John Saunders, who we lost, part of the ESPN family, legendary sports broadcaster on the Western Michigan team with his brother Bernie. In fact, I just got a text from Neil Smith, of course, GM of the Rangers, who won the cup. He says, this is hard to believe, 1975 to 2025. I started this 50 years ago with John and Bernie Saunders. What an awesome picture, and there's that logo as the Western Michigan trying to win their first national championship after those years ago, so far away now. But again, Neil watching tonight, he's on the edge of his seat, as all of Western Michigan is.
Washi with a big face-off win there. It'll kill the first 15, 20 seconds of this lethal BU power play. We will continue to talk about the importance in this game of face-offs, and so far playing a big role in the national championship.
The Terriers 42% in the postseason on the power play. Quinn Hudson rips it around, but there's no one there but Washi. That was a disorganized dump in from BU. And now with under 4 minutes to go, Cole Eiserman, the freshman, Islander first-round pick with the puck. He longs to score goals. He has the puck, but again, zero support from his teammates.
Yeah, that's immature hockey right there, Butchie. I don't know what Cole Eiserman's thinking, trying to go 1-on-3 on a power play, and I think those are some of the frustrations that Jay Pandolfo and his staff have seen out of this team this season.
Here he goes again, but this time it's onside to Quinn Hudson, and now BU getting set up. Hudson's a finisher. Here's LaChance. He scored the last goal for BU to give them some hope. Rips around hard, but again, Eiserman's not there on the wall. A frustrating start to the BU power play, just 45 seconds ago. Here's Willander, the Swede. Hughes picks it up, chips it up to the wall, throws it back behind the net. Bednarik trying to get control. Harvey's in there as well. He just can't quite get some space. Excellent job by Western Michigan on the penalty kill.
Yeah, listen, this is as much on BU, but give Western credit. The way they're swarming the puck around the kick plate, the way that they're kicking pucks to one another to get free clears. I mean, this penalty kill has been textbook by Western Michigan.
Turnover. Here comes Rukanaki. Shot! Nice save. Sluchinski way on top of his crease. Harvey between the legs to Kaplan. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Willander down to Hughes. Tries to get away from Bison. Can't. Rukanakis with it. Using that big, strong body. No support. His teammates are just watching him go 1-on-3. Now Kaplan comes in. Plasters Kramer on the boards, but Hakkarainen has it. He misses the check. That's going to be an elbowing penalty at least on Kaplan, who doesn't like the call. Down at the other end there is Hakkarainen. And Western's going to go on a power play at the end of the second period here.
Hakkarainen down on the ice.
Let's hear the initial call. They're going to talk about it now. Will they keep it at 2? Will they start with a 5? Kaplan to the box, and here comes the discussion.
BU number 21, minor penalty for kneeing.
So it's a minor penalty for kneeing. Kaplan was obviously trying to make contact with Hakkarainen, who made a quick move.
And the key here, Butchie, is we're going to give you a look at Devin Kaplan coming in for this. If Pat Ferschweiler does want to challenge this to elevate this to a 5-minute, and he's wrong, they will be awarded a minor penalty because they do not have a timeout left. And what a perfect time to bring our guy Dave Jackson in to get a little clarity from our rules expert.
Yeah, it didn't look like knee on knee, Dave. Looked skate on skate initially. Does it matter where the initial force is?
Well, it does, John, but in my opinion, the player was hitting the brake. The player was off balance and falling. He didn't target the player's knees. He went for the hit. You see right here, he puts the brakes on, and now he sort of loses his balance going backwards. It is knee-on-knee contact, but I think it would be a really risky challenge.
Yeah.
I don't believe they're going to get a 5-minute major out of this that they challenged.
No.
And as you said, they've already burnt their timeout, so I wouldn't be challenging this personally.
Yeah, and they're not going to challenge us. And the new rule in college hockey used to be all about the hitter. Well, they've changed that where the onus is now on both players. So they can take that as a factor, whether they're looking at a hit from behind, whether they're looking at a knee-on-knee type of play. Everybody involved, all parties, have liability within these situations.
CU, the most penalized team in Division I hockey this year. Big moment for Western now to get that 2-goal lead back. Entering the second intermission, Costantini. This is where Alex Bump introduces himself to the NCAA tournament. Number 20, lurking on the other side of the ice, just waiting. Now he'll go in on the forecheck on Hudson. McCarthy will keep it there. Battle in front, Michaels! Shot it over the net. Owen Michaels had a great chance. Costantini back to the point. Scholin, here's Bump. He can't handle that pass from Scholin. Cole Hudson high off the glass, hit the bench of Western Michigan, hanging over the bench. And the faceoff will be just outside the zone.
Well, a great opportunity for the Western Michigan Broncos. You see Cole Hudson at the top of your screen. He's a defenseman. After he dishes that puck to Gavin McCarthy, he just keeps going. And look, he's been a good penalty killer for this team when called upon, but you got to work your way back to the net if you're a defenseman. And Pat Ferschweiler dishing out some different directions to this second power play group anchored by Tim Washi.
Beautiful play by Willander to sling it down the ice. He'll check his stick to make sure it didn't break. He's good. Here come the Broncos. Under a minute to go in the second period. Nearing goes to Washi, tries to get it deep. Nearing, try to throw in front. Really good stick again by Willander. Green falls down. That gives Lukinski a chance. But Green comes out with it and sends it down the ice. 30 seconds left in the period. 44 in the penalty. You heard 30 seconds from Slukinski communicating with his defenseman Väisänen.
A good player, Väisänen, number 27.
Bump, fire, save, it's loose! Bednarik gets it out of danger. Michaels has it, trying to beat the clock now. 10 seconds left. Constantini bumps on the weak side. Scholin fires, just wide. Puck's behind the net.
Michaels got a piece of that, Butchie. That was tipped out in front. That was trickier than it looked. That shot from Scholin that came through. 34 right on top of the paint. Redirected that ever so slightly to make that a much more difficult look for Mikhail Yegorov. And BU gets out of that period. Clawed one back, and Western Michigan's got to feel good about the way this game has gone for them so far.
Well, they're a wagon win leading after two. BU just 3-10-1 when trailing after two. They'll be shorthanded for 14 more seconds to begin the third. So much on the line. Boston University trying to win their 6th national championship. That would break a tie with BC, break a tie with Minnesota. That stuff matters. And of course, Western Michigan trying to win their first national championship, Colby Cohen. And really the biggest moment in the school's athletic history would be the case if they're able to finish the job.
Yeah, Western's had such a phenomenal season. Off the top of the show, we talked about the fact that, you know, this Broncos team has gone wire to wire as one of the elite teams in college hockey, and they find themselves in a third period up by a goal exactly where they're comfortable. But I think the big key here, Butchie, and we saw this in the semifinal in both games, the team that was ahead, they tend to sit back in these one-goal situations, which gives the other team an ability to play a little looser. I think Razor or Richie might have said BU's on the hunt this period, which favors them a little bit. But ultimately, you've got the two best teams left. You've got a one-goal game going into the third period. We got a 15-second Western power play. What else could you ask for if you're a college hockey fan?
One more player from BU could kill the power play. Devin Kaplan on his feet in the sin bin. But here come the Broncos early. They have room. They have numbers. Here's Michaels. Fires high and wide. Bison will keep it in. Deflects into the crowd. See the shots on goal. More shot attempts in this game for Western Michigan. BU's had the block, more of them. The BU power play goal we mentioned, they needed at least one, and Kobe, you thought they needed two to win this game.
I did. Before the game, I said the BU power play is going to have to get on the board at least twice. Now, they had the last opportunity on the power play, which, you know, didn't look so good, but credit Western's penalty kill for being really disciplined and having great pressure points.
Again, Western, the last of the 7 Michigan hockey programs to make the final. The last Michigan team to make the final was Ferris State in 2012. Not Mighty Michigan, not Michigan State, not all those Big Ten schools. It's been, let's face it, a bit of a disappointing start in Big Ten hockey history. And Western of the NCHC has a great opportunity. They're 19 minutes away. If they can close the deal, they don't have to score again to be national champions. Nearing loses the puck. Ryan Green waits, and he'll go back to Aiden Celebrini, to his partner Jack Page. Page gains the red line and fires it in. Capone there first. Puck stays where it is, and Slukinski covers well. This will be icing on the Broncos. Quinn Kesnick, ringside tonight with the report.
Jason Herder, defensive coach for Western Michigan, telling me we can't make it easy for BU. We've got to handle the puck out of the D zone. Don't feed their offense by turnovers. Make them go the full 200 feet. That was his point of emphasis to his defensive corps.
Yeah, you certainly don't want to give any free opportunities to the Terriers. They can score goals, they can score in bunches, and you know, this is a real chess match here in the third period.
Harvey comes out with it. Try to go to Hughes. Good stick by the Broncos. And Valente will toss it up to McCarthy, who knocks it down. Hughes gets it in. Harvey goes after it. Slukinski behind the net. Bison knocked by Capone. Now it's just about getting the puck out of your zone. All those tense moments along the blue line. If you're rooting for Western Michigan, it's get it out. If you're rooting for BU, it's get the puck to the other end. Get some chances. Big hard hit from Eisenman. No one scored more goals in NCDP history than Cole Eisenman, but he throws his body around as well.
Yeah, he's really impressed me here the last couple of games. The speed that he plays with. The physicality, not afraid to score ugly goals on top of the highlight reel releases we've seen all season out of Cole Eisenman. You see why the Islanders made the decision to take him in the first round of the NHL draft.
He has scored in this game tonight. Stole that one, but then threw it into space, but was able to complete it. Here's Tom Willander.
And look, I think a lot of that goes to Jay Pandolfo and his ability to develop 200-foot games out of his players.
Capone, nifty pass, but falling down is Svoboda. Rukanakis has been noticeable tonight, number 7 in red. Kind of plays a Western Michigan game.
He does.
Capone, Rukanakis falls down. Big swap by Svoboda, is swept wide. McCarthy keeps it in. Cole Hudson's on the ice. Hasn't really made his presence felt too much yet. McCarthy fires. Knocked down in front. Hudson will get to it. Fakes the shot. Try to throw it in front. Good stick, Sidlowski.
I think that shot hit Capone in front for BU. That McCarthy shot from the point went off of 15. I don't think Slukinski had to make that save.
Beautiful play. McCarthy. Hudson saves. Slukinski. Rebound. Another save. The puck is loose again. Where's the whistle? Nothing yet. It's still free. Hudson shot. Blocked. Blocked again, and there's the whistle. As Hudson raises his arms to the ceiling thinking it might have gone in, but man, all these BU scoring chances look exactly alike.
Well, right on cue, Butchie. You said 44 hadn't made a mark. Look how he just sneaks in all alone to the back door. He tries to go 5-hole, and then the red jerseys just hacking and whacking on top of Slukinski. And wow, what a save Slukinski made at the end of that.
Look
I did not realize.
Look at Bison stack his pads, Kobe.
Yeah, wow, watch this right here. That save by Slukinski, and then, yeah, Vicenen makes a save as
under
well.
official review. See if the puck crossed the goal line.
All right, so this is an official review instigated by the officials. They want to make sure the puck didn't go over the goal line. I don't think it did.
I tell you, Vicenen's not there, laying across the goal line. It would have gone in. I think it snuck under the blocker of Slukinski, and what a job by Vicenen to lay across the goal line. And I think right here, see, it hits his skate.
Oh, wow, yeah, he's even grabbing behind. And now it's back with Slukinski. Right now, it's under Slukinski's glove and blocker, so you are 100% right. Vicenen is actually the one who makes the save, and this is what the officials are in the score booth looking at. And I don't know, can you locate the puck there, Butchie? Is that it? Between his legs, right?
Yes,
no, it's right in front of his shin.
It's not in. I think actually the other is even better. Dave Jackson comes in, and again, Dave, it's up to these referees to find the puck.
Exactly, John. There is no situation room. There's a video coordinator who's helping give angles for these referees. The referees are making the call, but I want to say that is just tremendous positioning by the referee. He's right on top of that net.
Yes.
He sees everything. He's so in control. He knows where that puck is. You can see him focusing on it. He moves. He's on one side there. He sees the puck. He recognizes it. It goes to the other side. Watch him come behind the net now. He's over the top looking down. He has sight of that puck the entire time. And as far as the player covering the puck, he never made any attempt to cover it. It was shot into him. So I don't think we're going to have a goal here. I don't see conclusive evidence of the puck ever crossing the goal line.
Call on the ice is confirmed. We have no goal.
Yeah, great camera work. Bob Frateroli, our legendary director, the best at ESPN ever to do it, and our amazing camera crew had so many good looks at that. And really, you can't talk about Jona Vicenen enough. He saved his goaltender. That was going to slowly slide into the net, but Vicenen, he recognized that.
Yeah.
And number 27 laid across the goal line like Mike goalies do when they're 5 years old.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh Penguins draft choice. He's really the most skilled defenseman on the back end for Western Michigan. Just so smooth with the puck, but there was the big-time defensive awareness to help your goalie out. Hey, that's what one and done looks like right there. You sell out at all costs.
And as Dave mentioned, Cameron Lynch, C.J. Hannafin, the referees have worked so hard to make sure they get views to see the puck. They've had a tough job in that regard tonight. Hudson shot deflects into the net. They've worked hard. You got to be a good skater to do that. You got to have a feel for the game. And Cameron Lynch and C.J. Hannafin, the referees, really have done a great job working hard to try to find the puck, to keep the play alive, to make sure these goals have the integrity that they do.
Well, and I think it's more, you talk about skating, right? It's all about being in the right body positioning for an official to be able to see plays throughout. I mean, the no calls that we've seen tonight on certain plays, that's because the refs are in good position, because they're getting up and down the ice well.
Both teams have had their power play chances. Western Michigan very comfortable in one-goal games. They've won each of their last 4. Of course, the conference championship game in double overtime over Denver on the Alex Bump game winner. And then their 3 tournament games. 2 of them in overtime. Slukinski to begin this tournament run. And then Owen Michaels Thursday night in double overtime against Denver. They're mature, and they can handle this. Meanwhile, the Terriers looking to strike and get the equalizer. Here comes Sharp, trying to dangle McCarthy. Boy, McCarthy's had a good game.
Yeah, he's a backbone. Plays a lot of minutes alongside Cole Hudson, who plays like a rover. Number 2, his brother Case McCarthy was a captain. He's been to the Frozen Four for BU a couple of seasons ago. Playing in the American Hockey League now as this one gets shot up over. Remember, not a minor penalty when you shoot it out from the defensive zone, but you're not able to change. So Western Michigan's got to keep the same bodies on the ice. See if BU can take advantage.
Automatic penalty in the NHL, but not in college. It's really very rarely called. Here are your goal scores tonight. 3-2 with 15:27 to go. Shots in the third, 7-1 BU. They've had a good period to start. We mentioned Cole Hudson has had an amazing season from World Junior to Beanpot to the NCAA tournament.
Look at that shot.
Perfect drop by the linesman. John Ray, Pat DiPuzzo. Here comes bump to Costantino behind the net. Coming up to Harvey. He'll softly go off the wall. But there's Bison, who made the great defensive play to keep this 3-2 back on the ice. Costantini, quick, hard wrist shot from distance into the chest of Yegorov. Once again, this is the national championship game. For more information of this championship and all your other championships, NCAA.com, your official home for all 90 NCAA championships. Our boy Quint Kesnick is getting ready for the lacrosse NCAA tournament. 16 teams, as they do in hockey, make up the field. And there it is, winning the national championship in your first Frozen Four appearance. Denver in 58, Cornell in 67, Lake Superior State in 1988. Slukinski and Bednarik. Bednarik wins the draw. BU, the first 5 minutes of the third are gone. Here's Hudson, there's a man in front. Eisman's wide open. Shot, save, Slukinski! The second round pick to the first round pick, saves Slukinski.
You're not going to get any better looks than that for your best goal scorer. What a big-time save by Hampton Slukinski, keeping his team ahead.
Western Michigan looking for the interference call on McCarthy. Quick change from Western. Eisman, no. Hudson, yes. Hudson, no. He whiffs. BU getting their chances. Can they cash in? Almost too many men on Western as BU entered the zone there. Boumedian back out there. Nice crisp pass to Hughes. Off the benches, Willander can't get it to him. Washi battling with Willander. They both go down. Washi comes out with it. Quick shot blocked. And Washi fires it back in. Rukanakis knocks it in. Here's Green forechecking. It's going to come back to Boumedian, the 18-year-old, back to Green. Reverses, bouncing. Here's McCarthy, the defenseman. Quick shot, just wide. Boston University changing. Game doesn't have much structure right now in form. Neither team really grabbing it and getting chances as the time ticks away. Hudson shot, deflected in front, and sitting there. And out with it comes Costantini. Here he comes with Owen Michaels. Oh, good stick. Hudson out of midair, and now he has it. Across the line, Cole Hudson waiting, 360. Pass in front to his brother. We're done. Save again. Hudson to Hudson almost tied the game. Cole, quick shot. Kenny whiffed on it. Here comes Michaels, 2-on-1 with Valente. Owen Michaels, Liam Valente. Shot! Score! We got an early candidate for MOP. Owen Michaels, third goal of the Frozen Four. His 17th of the year. Western Michigan. 4-2.
We'll give so much credit to Hampton Slukinski, the goaltender, who just made 5 big-time saves, and then the puck jumps on Cole Hudson, the defenseman for BU, cheating down on the play, and Owen Michaels goes wire to wire. He calls his own number. A right-handed shot coming down the right side, and he just beats Yegorov. And Western Michigan back to that commanding 2-goal lead with 12.5 minutes to go in the national championship game.
Harvey comes back down.
Western Michigan goal.
The Lawson Lunatics can taste it. Hughes shot into the glove of Slukinski. As battling in front is Jack Harvey and Zach Neary. It's been a historic season for Western Michigan. Program best 33 wins, regular season champs, conference champs, and they lead 4-2. They're 12-16 away from their first national championship. Owen Michaels grew up in the beautiful Detroit suburb of Northville, Michigan, and Colby, he's been the star of the Frozen Four.
Yeah, he has certainly called his numbers, had the overtime winner, a beautiful shot over the unbeatable Matty Davis, and he just put his team ahead with a 2-goal lead. A lead that Western Michigan feels very, very good about right now. Pat Ferschweiler just preaching short shifts to his players during that last TV timeout. And the energy in the building, you can feel it, the anticipation, the excitement.
Cole Hudson to the net. Easy pad save by Slukinski. Hudson's back, quick shot. Another easy right pad save, smooth and calm. The 19-year-old Hampton Slukinski. Quint Kesnick with more.
On the Terrier bench, it's pretty simple. Coach Pandolfo, it's not over, don't quit.
Simple.
And certainly, we're only one shot away from getting this to a 1-goal game, and we've seen how teams, year after year in this tournament, Butchie, they get those leads in the third period and they tend to sit back. We saw BC blitz Denver last year in the final 10 minutes or so of the third period, and Matty Davis had to come up with some big saves, so this game will certainly stay exciting through the finish.
Still plenty of time. Just under 12 minutes here in St. Louis. The last 2 times the national championship held here, a Michigan school won the game. Michigan Tech and Michigan State. Nearing behind the net. Reverses on Bednarik. In front. Can't quite complete. Here comes Cole Eiserman. Eiserman tries to dangle Vicinen. Almost did. Comes to Harvey. Harvey has it. Room. Boumediene fires. Blocked by Nearing into the crowd. We heard Arna Opal during our intermission report mentioned that the last 6 teams to score 3 or more all won the title. Also this year, Western, when they've scored 4 goals, they haven't lost a game.
Yeah, what a change in momentum. Think about the sequence, Butchie. Eiserman all alone on a back door. Slukinski comes up with the save, and there's a mirage of chances, and then all of a sudden, one opportunity for Western. They march down the ice and put this to 4-2.
Cole Hudson, BU needs some magic out of 44. Watched by Costantini, reverses, still has it, throws it in front. Had a man for a second, and Swoboda, and then it got by Harvey. 11 minutes to go. Boumediene. Good stick by Shingobi. Scored the first goal of the game. Again, this is a Western Michigan crowd. 5.5 hours from Kalamazoo. And they have the home crowd edge in terms of noise. Washi has it, and here come the Broncos. Save Yegorov into his glove, he'll hold up.
Well, certainly a tall mountain to climb for Boston University, and if they're gonna do it, it's gonna have to come off of 44's magic, and that's the chance I'm talking about. Right before the Western goal, the play to Eiserman, and then it was almost a Hudson to Hudson with a green opportunity right out on top of Slukinski as Cole Hudson looks on, and the Western Michigan faithful, the Lawson Lunatics, here in numbers in St. Louis. And We're just about at that 10-minute mark in the third period.
Packed house here in St. Louis. A beautiful day in Missouri. Here comes LaChance. He has scored. Look at the two Broncos on the puck. Nearing will get to it. McCarthy and Willander. Willander keeps it in. Here comes LaChance to support Boumediene. Willander, likely his last college game. He looks ready to turn pro and join the Canucks. Väisänen turns it over almost. Good anticipation by Hughes, who's had a good Frozen Four. Hudson just out of his reach. He'll reverse. Like a hard hit from Michaels. There's Michaels. And here comes Bump. Bump! Taken out by McCarthy. And then Bump takes out Yegorov. He takes a couple of pushes. The play continues. Capone. 4-on-3. Here's Capone across. Bouncing. But out of danger now. Hard hit by Bump. And here come the Broncos with numbers if they hurry. Washi. Bump! Across, shot, save! Yegorov, it rode up his big body and into the netting.
Alex Bump feeling it here in the third period. It was the strip by Michaels on Hudson and the most lethal Bronco, the future Philadelphia Flyer trying to go hard to the net. And then it's the other end, the golden opportunity. Yegorov shuts the door to keep it at 2.
We began our coverage talking about the comparison of these two programs, the disparity of history as Western Michigan comes to their first Frozen Four in school history. BU, their 25th. There's Pat Ferschweiler, Jay Pandolfo. He's won a championship for BU in 1995. He went to 4 straight as a player, Frozen Fours. Now 3 straight as a coach. But Ferschweiler and Western Michigan in control, 4-2. Jeff Blasio's probably watching. He took over the team in 2010. Ferschweiler was his assistant coach. Rob Facka, who's now a scout with Chicago, an assistant coach. They inherited a 4-win team. Bouncing puck. Western gets it out of trouble. Ferschweiler drove the culture. And from there, they're building their history. And here they come. Hakkarainen throws it across the space. Glove by Michaels. Trying to go to Washington. Oh, side of the post from Michaels. What a Frozen Four he's had. Another shot. Save. Out of danger. Kramer has it. Dangling. Back to Michaels. Oh, the Broncos are feeling it right now. Shot blocked by Bernard. He's down in pain, number 11. Now he gets up. What a shift. This top line, Costantini, Bump, and Owen Michaels. His dad won a MAC title in baseball for Western Michigan. Swoboda tries to make a move on Krusberg-Rosine. Shot! Saves Lukinski. Where is it? Again, a puck is on the goal line. BU thought they had it, but no goal.
You think the officials will...
Hudson and McCarthy, the defensemen, are pointing towards Jay Pandolfo, saying, we think it went in. You hear the official there? No goal. He said they had the puck. Pandolfo hasn't challenged yet in this game.
There's the original shot. And
between his legs right now.
You got to see the net cam. And
that's not in. And then the push. That's not going to be a goal. We saw Western Michigan challenged on the LaChance goal, that poking the pad. And I think if Jay Pandolfo were to challenge, again, the puck's okay here, then watch this right there. That shove from Capone, I think that would make it a no-goal if Pandolfo chooses to challenge.
Yeah, he's calling the officials over right now.
Maybe we'll see the puck here across the goal line. So Dave Jackson, what's the protocol here with whistles and such, Dave? Let's listen. Definitely the whistle blew before it crossed the line, but what about continuous motion or continuous play or intent to whistle? What's the deal there, Dave?
Well, I don't believe culmination of a continuous play would apply here. The whistle did go, and there was a physical motion by the player poking the puck. So I don't think that would apply. Now, the referees, if they do challenge this and the referees look at it, they're going to determine, was that puck frozen? Did I have that puck frozen when I blew the whistle? And I believe they did. But you know what? They have a challenge available. Like you said, it's basically a freebie. It might be a chance to challenge it. You never know which way it may go.
Yeah, Jay Pandolfo is going to challenge this.
The previous play is being challenged by Boston University.
Again, no risk of being shorthanded, so it's worth a Hail Mary at this point. Down 4-2 with 8:04 to go.
Yeah, if you're wrong, you only lose your timeout. But again, with the call on the ice being no goal, you know, Jackson, I'd love to hear your opinion here, but I have a hard time seeing how this is going to be called a good goal based on all of the replays that we've seen. So I think the officials got it right the first time, and I think this will stay as no goal.
When was that puck moving? Was it before the shove from Capone? Let's see here. As Slukinski turns, is the puck moving before the shove? Doesn't look like it. What do you think, Dave, from that angle as the officials look at the monitor?
I got to say, I agree with what Colby's saying. I believe the referee determines that that puck was frozen. Pad was on top of it. He blew the whistle, and it was poked loose by the player poking the puck. I don't think they're going to overturn this call, but we're going to have to wait and see. There could be different angles. We're only seeing the angle. The referee was on the far side of the net, so maybe there's an angle either from inside the net or from the other side showing the puck still being loose.
Yeah, and I just think different from the other one. When the goaltender moved, the puck was still moving. I think the goaltender has that puck, and I think when his pad gets pried, that's when you start to see movement. As this is called no goal on the ice, I do not see them overturning this goal, Jax. I'm with you on that. But they're in there. They're taking a look at it. There's 8 minutes left. You know, BU only loses a timeout here if they're wrong on this challenge, but I think this is going to stand.
Yeah, this should be an easy one. I'm surprised it's taking this long. But again, here's the whistle again. Listen to the audio. This should be no goal for sure. Here come the officials, Cameron Lynch and CJ Hannafin. They've been very busy tonight. It's been a tough game for them to call, but we expect this to remain no goal.
Call on the ice is confirmed, no goal.
So it's worth a Hail Mary from Jay Pandolfo. So neither team has their timeout in any kind of strategic last-minute situation or, of course, in a challenge situation. Face-off will remain in the Bronco end. 8:04 to go. Time now slowly becoming a factor. Shoulder rims it around hard. Big hit by McCarthy again. Here's Cole Hudson. He'll play a lot down the stretch.
Yeah, he'll play probably 5.5 in the next 8 minutes.
Pretty much the top two pair of defensemen the rest of the way for the Terriers.
It's been that way the whole third period.
Yeah.
Like Cole Hudson looks exhausted trying to get back.
The chance, nice play on the wall. That angle shot, that's the kind of stuff you got to try down by 2. Hudson, beautiful move. Another nice move, but what a stick! Shingobi, who scored the first goal of the game with a great defensive play. .7:20 to go. It's going to be icing on BU.
And Cole Hudson just trying to create space for himself, something he does so well, and he gets by Hakarainen, but Shingobi's just patient, and that's really the only way to defend Cole Hudson. You've got to be patient. You've got to make sure you keep your feet moving and make sure you drag your stick off your back hip, make yourself wider and more difficult to make those tight cutbacks against, and that was well executed there by Wyatt Shingobi, who missed some time in the regional. As this one goes down onto Yegorov, he'll freeze it, but you know, Shingorov, a guy who they're happy to have back here in the Frozen Four.
Just reminder, NCAA.com for all your information on the 90 NCAA championships. I mentioned Blashill, who took over with Firstweiler. In fact, they took a 4-win team to the CCHA final and the NCAA tournament. Then the next season, they won the CCHA. And all those players from that team are here today at the game. This Western Michigan hockey family's really come together. Their first alumni golf tournament had 27 alums. Now there's a waiting list. So this program keeps building and building. Again, a relatively newer program. And Firstweiler really is the foundation behind it. First with Blashill, then he went with Jeff to the NHL. And of course, he waited to get this job after Andy Murray called it quits. And Pat Firstweiler pivoted and made this a winning 20-win program, and now they're 647 away from their first national championship.
Yeah, they got a $600 million building on the way in Kalamazoo.
Yep.
You just have to wonder, with all the success, you know, Pat Firstweiler's going to get interviews in the National Hockey League as soon as this year ends. So we hope to see him stick around here at Western Michigan, because hockey's better when you have these phenomenal coaches and all these different programs.
Yeah, college hockey does need this kind of level of coach, and he probably, I imagine, he wants to be here for that arena opening. Yeah. If he doesn't get that dream offer.
We know how $8 or $10 million can look. Hard to say no to.
So now it's one dump at a time for Western Michigan. Dump it in, change. You mentioned Colby, heard Pat Firstweiler say short shifts the rest of the way. They can roll 4. Stay fresh. Turnover. Hakkarainen trying to find Washi. Final game in Washi's Western Michigan career to go out as a winner and a champion. So rare in sports when your last game is a win. Under 6 to go. Quinn Kesnick reported Jay Pandolfo just trying to tell his team, don't give up. It's not an option. You never know. 2 goals can force overtime.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any program as this one gets deflected up into the netting that knows what that type of comeback can look like, Butchie, but Western Michigan, they are just in the driver's seat in this hockey game right now.
Couple national championships in men's cross country in the early 60s. I asked Pat Firstweiler yesterday, would this be the biggest moment in school history in terms of athletics? He said, yeah, it would be. On this national television stage, Boston Lunatics all here. The crowd cheering. There's a sign, North Dakota rooting for the Broncos in the NCHC Pride.
Wow.
A conference that has owned college hockey since their existence.
I didn't know North Dakota fans rooted for anybody but North Dakota.
Yeah, I like that conference.
Surprising. I don't think BC fans are here rooting for BU.
It's offside at the line with 5:02 to go. We mentioned the pride of Michigan, a great state for Division I college hockey. This is title games reached the first time in the year next to it. Of course, Michigan State, the last time they won a national championship here in St. Louis. Western Michigan trying to join that list of national champions from the great state, the great mitten of Michigan.
Well, look, when you're down 2, Butchie, you got to start thinking about your goaltender. And you know, we're at 4:46 here, but you know, Jack Parker pulled the goalie with just about 3.5, 4 minutes left, and we were down 2 in 09. And you wonder if maybe Jay Pandolfo around that 3-minute mark, maybe 3.5-minute mark, if there's a good offensive zone shift, tries to get the goalie out.
We'll keep that in mind. Valente. Bothered shot blocked. Western Michigan offensively trying to finish the job. A chance in deep. Now the sand is pouring through the hourglass. Approaching 4 minutes to go. And we are in pull the goalie territory for BU.
Yeah. Maybe another 45 seconds, and when BU, they get possession of the offense.
Score! Hakkarainen! pressure. Eero Hakkarainen off of Yegorov as he was looking the other way and into the net.
Well, it was only a matter of time for Hakkarainen, who has just been so good in the entire tournament. And what a sweet, sweet little pass by Wyatt Goalie. We just talked about him, and he gets the back of the net. He gets Yegorov right there to turn his head to the right. He has no idea where the puck is, and number 22 in white all but ices a national championship, the first for this Western Michigan Broncos team. And Butchie, you said it 30 seconds ago, they're trying to end this thing offensively.
Bump! Save Yegorov.
Western Michigan goals by number 22, Eero Hakkarainen.
Icing waved off. 3:45 to go.
Goalie's out.
Goalie is out for Boston University. Extra attacker on. The net is empty for the Broncos. Soft chip towards Willander. Conley knocks it down.
Western Michigan goal at 16:02.
Kaplan gets the puck in deep. This will be take an odd bounce and prevent the icing. That worked out well.
Perfect play there by Robbie Drasner to just loft that thing up.
So it looks like another national championship disappointment for Boston University. 2015, falling short to Providence in Boston. A heartbreaking loss for the Terriers. They need 3. Save. Fake Hudson down the wall with the net empty. 6-on-5 hockey. Under 3 minutes left. Shot from the point is wide. Yzerman will chase it down. Back towards LeChance, stolen by Drasner. Chipped out of trouble. Towards the empty net and wide. And icy.
Remember, Jay Pandolfo does not have his timeout.
Neither team does.
Nor does Western Michigan. Pat Ferschweiler deciding who he wants to get out. You see the disappointment for Shane LeChance right now. It is expected that he's going to sign and turn pro with the New Jersey Devils.
Expect Ryan Green to sign with the Blackhawks. Maybe get a game this week. So yeah, there will be some exit, but for now, Pat Ferschweiler is only thinking about the present. Finish this off the last 2.5. Pass in front. Puck is bouncing around. Taken by Valente. Cole Hudson sent it across. Here's Green with speed. Great job by Western Michigan to clog the middle of the ice. Hudson still out there, onside. Empty net, score, Michaels! A dream frozen for Owen Michaels, who leaps into the arms of his teammates. And Western Michigan is gonna do it. Another 2-goal game for Owen Michaels. He's going to be your MOP for 2025. What a beautiful moment, that goal, and then the full sprint to the bench to leap high into the air and into the arms of his brothers.
Yeah, those are the best moments, Butchie. You score that goal, you get to the bench, you celebrate with your 20-something teammates. The euphoria. A lot of these guys, they won't even be able to remember the moments. Their adrenaline is going to be pumping so hard. The excitement, and this is the culmination of a phenomenal season for Western Michigan. Let's not kid ourselves here. The better team won, and they outplayed BU. They got to their game. When things got tight, they were able to put it into 4th and 5th gear and put the nail in the coffin for this BU Terriers season.
Didn't need any offense in the tournament from Alex Bump, and they still roll. Obviously, a couple of close ones with the overtime wins. Slukinski and Michaels, the goals in overtime. Let's go Bronco chants for the final minute to go.
1 minute to play in the third period.
Michigan's going to go 3 for 3 in St. Louis. Michigan Tech, Michigan State, and now Western Michigan. The 3 times the Frozen Four has been here in St. Louis. Michaels back out there again. It's been a hat, t-shirt, and trophy kind of season for Western Michigan. Conference championship, tournament championship, regional championship, and the NCAA championship. There are no bad days ever in Kalamazoo. The Broncos, for the first time ever, are national champions. What a moment for this school.